Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your quiz master, Sean, and I've got 100 general knowledge questions for you. Science, technology, literature, geography, general knowledge. So let's keep our brains young, shall we, and have some fun together. Let's start. De plane was said in which 1970s to 1980s TV series? The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, or Wings? And that was Fantasy Island. True or false? Feng Shui translates to fire and water. Is that true or is that false? Feng Shui. That is false. It translates to wind and water. The phrase going into a tailspin originated in, was it 1941, stemming from a false dive made during a dogfight, 1430, stemming from dogs chasing their tails, or 1910, stemming from an early fight when a plane spinning toward the ground meant an inevitable crash? It's number 3. What car did young Biff Tannen own in the Back to the Future film trilogy? A 1946 Ford Supreme Deluxe, a 1948 Mercury Deluxe, or a 1940 Chevrolet Special Deluxe? He owned a 1946 Super Deluxe. Godzilla first appeared in 1964. Is that true or is that false? And that is false. He first appeared in 1954. The 1963 novel La Planète des Singes, Planet of the Apes, was written by, was it Pierre Boulle, J.G. Ballard, or Robert Merle? And that was written by Pierre Boulle. The average weight of a cloud is as much as 20 large soap bubbles, 5 peregrine falcons, or 100 average-sized elephants. Average weight of a cloud. Well, it could weigh as much as 100 average-sized elephants. Feldspar minerals make up what percentage of the Earth's crust? About 60%, about 15%, or about 43% of the Earth's crust? They make up about 60% of the Earth's crust. Which baseball player was nicknamed the left arm of God? Was that Sandy Koufax, Willie Mays, or Yogi Berra? The left arm of God was Sandy Koufax. What does nirvana mean? Release, rebirth, or blown out? Nirvana means blown out. True or false? Kodak's Brownie camera was named after the Brownie characters popularized by illustrator Palmer Cox. Is that true or is that false? That's true. Emperor Nicholas II's daughters often sign themselves as the princesses, Oltama, or Otma. They signed themselves as Otma. What stone did ancient Egyptians believe could assuage the anger of kings? Labradorite, bloodstone, or amethyst? They thought bloodstone could assuage the anger of kings. Greek fire was first used by was it Romans, the Byzantines, or the Greeks? Greek fire. First used by Byzantines. True or false? The Cadillac Coupe de Ville was renamed the Cadillac Calais in the 1965 model year. Is that true or is that false? That is false. It wasn't a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, it was a Cadillac Series 4062 that was renamed the Cadillac Calais in the 65 model year. Who founded Eastern Airlines? Eddie Rickenbacker, Ray Brooks, or Harold Pitcairn? Eastern Airlines was founded by Eddie Rickenbacker. What was the Spartans' response to Philip II of Macedon's message saying, "If I invade Laconia, you will be destroyed, never to rise again"? Was the response if, don't be so sure, or want to bet? Their response was if. Catherine Beecher developed a program of calisthenics performed to music in the 1840s. Is that true or is that false? And that is true. What is a sign of beauty in Ethiopia? A long neck, earrings, or a lip plate? A sign of beauty in Ethiopia. And that would be a lip plate. The earliest sundials were they shadow clocks, water clocks, or obelisks paired with wells? The earliest sundials. They were shadow clocks. The kingdom of Kush was in modern day Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, Egypt, Israel, and Jordan, or Sudan and Egypt. Where is the kingdom of Kush today? It's in Sudan and Egypt. The obelisk of Axum's function is believed to be, is it a sundial, a border marker, or is it believed to be a marker for an underground royal burial chamber? It is believed to be a marker for an underground burial chamber. The first bombs made of cast iron shells were created in 13th century China. Is that true or is that false? And that is true. The rock band Nirvana was formed in Aberdeen, Scotland, UK, Washington, USA, or Eastern Cape, South Africa. Which Aberdeen was it? Nirvana was formed in Washington, USA. Weird Al Yankovic's first song parodying another song was it My Bologna parodying My Sharona, I Love Rocky Road parodying I Love Rock and Roll, or Another One Rides the Bus parodying Another One Bites the Dust? Which one got Al Yankovic started? Weird Al started with My Bologna parodying My Sharona. True or false? The price of gas in 1956 was 30 cents, which would be approximately $3.37 when adjusted to today's prices. Is that true or not? That is true. Which Italian actress portrays Lucilla in the 1964 film The Fall of the Roman Empire? Sophia Loren, Gina Lollobrigida, or Elsa Martinelli? And that role belongs to Sophia Loren. Who was insulted by Charlie Chaplin's directing style, which involved acting out each role in the film A Countess from Hong Kong? Tippi Hedren, Sophia Loren, or Marlon Brando? That was Marlon Brando. True or false? The Professional Finnish Ice Hockey League Liga is colloquially called the Finnish Elite League. Is that true or is that false? And that is true. Actor Paul Henreid's favorite movie of the ones he had acted in was Casablanca. Is that bogus or is that true? Was his favorite movie that he was in Casablanca? That's bogus. His favorite film was The Spanish Main. Foxglove is used in modern medicine. Is it to slow excessive heart rate? Is it used as a purgative or is it used for healing wounds? Foxglove. It is used in modern medicine to slow excessive heart rate. Marble is used to. Does it add acidity to soil and water, deter invasive fish from certain streams, or does it reduce the acidity in soil and water? Marble is used to reduce the acidity in soil and water. The vase that Buddhist goddess Guanyin carries symbolizes the power of meditation and prayer, ability to grant wishes, or the ability to heal the sick and defend against evil spirits. The Buddhist goddess Guanyin symbolizes the ability to grant wishes. The Finnish word for the aurora borealis is revantule, which means foxfires, revolving lights, or glowing stream. The Finnish word revantulet means foxfires. Which country has the most moose? Sweden, Russia, or Canada? Who has the most moose? Canada has the most moose. Chief Inspector Rose was first seen in which British TV series? Mr. Rose, The Odd Man, or It's Dark Outside? Chief Inspector Rose was seen in the British series The Odd Man. Baja California is in which country? Is it in Colombia? Is it in the United States of America? Or is it in the United States of Mexico? Baja California is in Mexico. It is generally accepted that the Caesar salad was created in 1924 was it created in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, New York, USA, or San Diego, California, the USA? The Caesar salad was created in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Matthew Maury, a founder of modern oceanography, was he nicknamed the frontiersman of the ocean, the pathfinder of the seas, or was he the underwater map maker? Matthew Maury, the pathfinder of the seas. From the Eiffel Tower, you can look out and see the Statue of Liberty. Is that true or is that false? From the Eiffel Tower. And that is true. The Pont de Grenelle Statue of Liberty was gifted to France by the U.S. in 1889. What is Guam's capital? Dededo, Hagatna, or Agana? Guam's capital. The capital of Guam is Hagatna. Where are the Chocolate Hills? Will you find them in the Philippines? Are they in Malaysia? Or are they in Roald Dahl's book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? The Chocolate Hills. They're in the Philippines. Who won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year in 1964? Stan Getz and João Gilberto's Getz Gilberto? Tony Bennett's I Left My Heart in San Francisco? Or the Barbra Streisand album? Which one got the Grammy in 64? Barbra Streisand got the Grammy in '64. The 1964 Myers-Manx dune buggy used Volkswagen Beetle chassis. Is that true or is that false? And that is true. During its creation, the Renault Dauphine was internally known as Project Prince, Project 109, or the New Economy Car. The Renault Dauphine was internally known as Project 109. The governing body, USA Gymnastics, was originally called the USA Gymnasts, U.S. Gymnastics Federation, or the Organization of American Gymnasts. Originally it was called the U.S. Gymnastics Federation. The first modern diving competitions were held in America. Is that true or is that false? That the first diving competitions were held in America. That's false. They were held in England. These early diving competitions were they called high diving, dock diving, or were they called plunging? The early diving competitions were called plunging. Who holds the record of most dominant box office for a star in Hindi cinema? Dilip Kumar, Vijayanthamala, or Shah Rukh Khan? That would be Dilip Kumar. A snap in surfing is when the board breaks, the surfer strikes a reef, or a quick turn is done along the top of a wave. Which one of those is a snap in surfing lingo? That's a quick turn when it's done along the top of a wave. Snap. In 1928, accountant Walter E. Deemer did he invent bubble gum, an early hand calculator, or the Deemer iris? He invented bubble gum. The giant green anemone appears dark green or brown when not exposed to sunlight because it closes up, hiding its bright green tentacles and oral disc. Is that true or is that false? That's true. The alpha-beta transformation was first calculated by Albert Einstein, Edith Clarke, or Theodore Newton Vail? It was calculated by Edith Clarke. In the 20th century, AT&T was informally known as Static, The Line, or Ma Bell. AT&T was often referred to colloquially as Ma Bell. The vertical axis is the most efficient water wheel design. Is that true or is that false? And that is false. It is the least efficient. The Curta handheld mechanical calculator was not known as the pepper grinder, a Kulka shaker, or a math grenade. Which one was it not known as? It was not known as. Otto Lilienthal built controllable hang gliders, a steam-powered lighter-than-air craft, the Lilienthal Monument. Controllable hang gliders. The first Renaissance Fair was held in 1957 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Is that true or is that false? That is false. The first Renaissance Fair was held in 1963 in Los Angeles, California. The first slushies were created in 1958 when a Dairy Queen soda machine broke and the carbonated drinks were kept in the freezer. Is that true or is that false? Is that how they were invented? Yep, it was. That's true. Mangoes are related to tomatoes, bananas, or pistachios. Mangoes are related to tomatoes, bananas, or pistachios. Pistachios. Galileo called his stargazing instrument was it a perspicillum, a telescope, or a telescopio? He called it a perspicillum. Moxibustion, a traditional Chinese medicine practice, is when needles are inserted into certain points on the body, suction is created on the skin with heated cups, or mugwort is burned on particular points in the body. That's when mugwort is burned on particular points in the body. Shoe companies Adidas and Puma were founded by Adolf Dassler and Rudolf Dassler, respectively, after the brothers feuded and closed their co-owned company, Gita. Fact or fiction? And that is fact. What does Daniel LaRusso call his karate instructor in the Karate Kid series of films? Mr. Miyagi, Mr. Nariyoshi, or Mr. Me? He calls him Mr. Miyagi. In the Victorian era, if a woman dropped her handkerchief near a man, it meant she was clumsy, she was interested in him, or she needed his help. What does drop of the hanky mean? It means she was interested in him. According to FloridaPanhandle.com, the most expensive vacation spot at 1,852 days for accommodations, transportation, food, and attractions is it Gstaad, Switzerland, Gustavia, St. Bart's, or Maui, Hawaii, USA? The most expensive vacation spot is Gustavia, St. Bart's. In 1845, what head of its time item was installed in the royal palace of Caserta? An elevator, a movie theater, or a telegraph? 1845. It was ahead of its time with an elevator. The first White House dogs were the Adamses' Juno and Satan, or was it Theodore Roosevelt's Jack and Pete, or was it George Washington's Drunkard and Sweet Lips? The first White House dogs were the Adamses, Juno, and Satan. Who is called Jamaica's greatest tourist? Douglas Fairbanks Sr., Humphrey Bogart, or Errol Flynn? Jamaica's greatest tourist. That was Errol Flynn. Theodore Roosevelt's dog Pete once tore the pants off French ambassador Jean-Jules Jusserand. Is that true or is that false? That sounds completely bogus now, doesn't it? Absolutely unfathomable, and yet it's true. Who was the mother of Charlie Chaplin's sons, Charles and Sidney? Una O'Neill, Lita Gray, or Paulette Goddard? And that would be Lita Gray. Humphrey Bogart's yacht was it the Santana, the Zaka, or was it the Wild Goose? Humphrey Bogart's yacht was the Santana. Sun dogs are they an ancient Egyptian dog breed, a subspecies of sunfish, or patches of light that sometimes appear beside the sun? What are sundogs? They're patches of light that sometimes appear beside the sun. My Four Green Fields stained glass window was it made by Evie Hone, Lawrence Lee, or Harry Clark? My Four Green Fields, that was created by Evie Hone. London's Harley Street houses a large number of artists, doctors and surgeons, or politicians and government workers. London's Harley Street. Who has their offices there? Lots of doctors and surgeons. Pyrite is also known as Firestone, Fool's Gold, or Metallica. What is pyrite also known as? Pyrite is Fool's Gold. Stingy bark is the Australian name for silly string, a made-up word. Any of the eucalyptus trees that have thick, fibrous bark. Any of the eucalyptus trees that have thick, stringy, fibrous bark. The Waitomo caves in New Zealand glow because of fireflies, because of bioluminescent algae, or because of glowworms. The Waitomo caves, New Zealand, they glow because of glowworms. What is dirndl? A dress that originated in German-speaking parts of the Alps, a clay version of a dreidel, or a German dance where the participants clap their hands and slap their shoes. What is a dirndl? It's a dress that originated in German-speaking parts of the Alps. The song Cookie Cookie, Lend Me Your Comb was based on the character from which TV series? Surfside 6, 77 Sunset Strip, or Bourbon Street Beat? That comes from 77 Sunset Strip. The 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Broman cost $10,000 or $107,535 in today's market when it was brought out. Is that true or is that false? False. It cost $13,074 or equivalent to $145,317 today. The pond apple tree's fruit is sometimes called alligator apple because it has scaly skin. American alligators often eat the fruit, or the color is similar to an alligator's. The pond apple tree's fruit. It's because American alligators often eat the fruit. If someone is said to have a yellow beak in Japan, that means does that mean they're inexperienced, tactless, or spineless? If someone in Japan says you have a yellow beak, what does that mean? It means you are inexperienced. Turkey has feeding stations called cat houses, where food and water is left out for the street cats. Is that true or is that false? That is true. Gillette's tagline, used from 1989 to 2019, was, "The best a man can get, the best men can be, or welcomed by women everywhere." What was Gillette's tagline? Gillette, the best a man can get. John Wayne did he collect cowboy hats, rifles, or Kachina dolls? John Wayne, the Duke. He collected Kachina dolls. Sugar makes you hyper. Is that true or is that false? sugar makes you hyper. Well, that's false. For the 1974 film Murder on the Orient Express, who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress? Lauren Bacall, Ingrid Bergman, or Vanessa Redgrave? Who won the award for Best Supporting Female Actress? Ingrid Bergman. What was the third highest grossing film of 1977? Star Wars Episode 4, Smokey and the Bandit, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind? The third highest was Smokey and the Bandit. In 1958, Gatsometer BV produced a gasometer, which was it a speed measuring device, a quick gas filling device, or was that a parking meter? The Gatsometer. That's a speed measuring device. The Monaco Rally later became the Tour de France automobile. Is that true or is that false? And that is false. It is now the Rally Monte Carlo, or the Monte Carlo Rally. The 40 Wives were a 19th to 20th century all-female London crime syndicate who specialized in bag snatching. Is that fact or is that fiction? That's fiction. The gang was called the 40 Elephants or the 40 Thieves and specialized in shoplifting. The first gyms were opened in, was that ancient Persia, ancient Greece, or the late 1860s in London, England? The first gyms, they were opened in ancient Persia. A tilt yard was it a dock that tilted crates onto a boat? Is that slang for the lawn outside a pub? Or is that an enclosed courtyard for jousting? That is an enclosed courtyard for jousting. The ancient Greek word for massage was it frictio, masso, or anatripsis? The ancient Greek word for massage. And that word is anatripsis. Mauritania has extensive deposits of, is it gold, iron ore, or copper? Mauritania has extensive deposits of iron ore. Franklin Delano Roosevelt's middle name came from his godfather's last name? Did it come from his mother's last name? Or was it the town where he was born? Delano, California. Delano comes from his mother's last name. Raymond Massey jokingly complained that he was the only actor ever typecast as a president. Is that true or is that false? And that is true. True or false? Around the 13th century, dairy farmers skimmed the cream from milk when making cheese, which resulted in white cheese. But as yellow cheese was associated with quality, they dyed the cheese to maintain the preferred color. Is that true or is that false? That's true. And now question 100. Saguaro cactus flowers are generally said to smell like, they smell like melons, vanilla, or do they smell like honey? They are said to smell like melons. And that's it. That was question 100. That's all I got for you for right now. Thank you for playing Quiz Time. Now drop your score in the comments section, please. And don't forget to like, ring the notification bell, and subscribe so you'll get Quiz Time when we come out with the next one. Thanks for playing. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.